Many people try to improve their health, fight fatigue, fixing their fluctuating energy levels, or improving their bad sleep with various methods. So they start self-experimenting, influencing their own physiology based on some methods that they heard here and there. In other words, they try to biohack their system. There are many methods to choose from. Many people start with changing their diets, taking supplements, or start exercising using various mental techniques or artificial gadgets. Meanwhile, they forget the most powerful and most important natural method. I tell you the secret right now. I will talk about the sunrise. On a clear day, sunrise is not only beautiful and spectacular, but it's the simplest free habit which you can do to maintain your health, improve your energy levels and sleep, and also your mood during the day. In short, this is probably the best tool for your mental and physical well-being. The theory of the biological effect of the sunrise is quite complex. You can understand properly only with deep science, quantum physics, on the level of electrons and photons. But the good news is the practical applications are ridiculously super simple. However, believe it or not, it is possible to do it wrong. There are certain small details which affect their efficiency. So in the second part of this video, I will also mention these practical tips, how to make the best out of it. Hi, my name is Mihály Sáfrán. I came from Hungary. I'm a fitness coach, athlete, and I studied health preventing biomedical engineering at the university level. And even after I spent many years further researching the miracles of the human physiology. Since I understand the importance of the sunrise in our biology, probably I skipped 1 or 2 times only when I stayed up very late in the night. But even in these cases, I missed only by 30 minutes or so the sunrise. So even in some cases when I stayed up until 3-4 in the morning, somehow I automatically woke up a few minutes before sunrise. My body has so connected to this natural biological rhythm, and I instinctively look for it every morning. I can be more flexible with my diet, sport and other lifestyle habits since I changed my lifestyle in the past 15 years, but somehow watching the sunrise remained unchanged. But what is this weird habit? You got a sunstroke or what? Based on my knowledge and experience, I would say the most important biohack is watching the sunrise. And I will explain you further in the next few minutes. The importance of sunrise in our physiology I could explain the best with the term of the circadian rhythm. Our body has an internal clock which in natural conditions precisely regulate the level of the hormones and neurotransmitters in our body. This affects the energy levels, the body temperature, metabolism, the appetite, and in general when we should be active with our body and when we should be passive or sleep. For this internal clock to work properly, you need a reference point every day. And if humans would live in natural conditions, you would not have to think too much about this. However, with modern artificial lights, we disturb this natural circadian rhythm. As I know, we are living here on this planet Earth. This is how life works here. These are the rules of the game. If you skip sunrise, it's like you would jump immediately to another planet, and you are unprepared for the conditions there. Or explained by other analogy, probably you heard about the jet lag when you fly multiple time zones and your brain and body is totally confused. You lost the reference point. How does the circadian rhythm work? First of all, the word circadian means more or less 1 day, so it's a more or less 24-hour program each day. And to run this program properly, we need this reference points or time cues. In the scientific literature, they call it with a German word Zeitgeber. The most important Zeitgeber is the light. This influences the most the circadian rhythm. And there are other secondary reference points like the outside temperature, timing of the meal, social activities like when you go to school, to work, when you do exercise. They all influence your internal body clock. So to make it simple, during the day time, between sunrise and sunset, we need a lot of natural sunlight. And after sunset until sunrise, we need darkness. So our body needs every morning this strong natural sunlight stimuli to run the internal program properly. If you start your day with scrolling on your phone or staying inside in the kitchen under artificial lights, it's not the best way to start your day. In my observations and life experience, yes, I know that you can also live without paying attention to the circadian rhythm, and many people stay kind of strong, healthy for a longer time. I believe the human body is a very complex and super strong survival machine who wants to survive even in the suboptimal conditions. But if you want to experience the best optimal living state, then I would recommend you to implement regular sunrise watching. Okay, let's go further. I can show you another perspective with this picture. Sunlight consists different wavelengths, frequencies during the day or in the changing the season or depending on the geographical location. And if you compare them to the artificial lights, they always emit the same spectrum independently from the daytime or the season or the geographical location. This fact alone could ring the bells and telling you that the artificial lights are suspicious for the human biology some way. So as you can see in the picture, sunlight consists visible light spectrum and infrared and ultraviolet lights. And during the whole day, you can get infrared frequencies and the visible spectrum, and UV lights, ultraviolet lights coming later during the day. I hope many people heard about the UVB light is important for the vitamin D synthesis, but also the UVA frequencies have a lot of biological role in the human body. For example, we have the tryptophan amino acid, and from this you can make serotonin, and from serotonin you can make melatonin. They are all important biomolecules affecting your mood and your sleep. So for the proper sleep, we need a lot of sunlight during the day. So the good sleep starts in the morning. Or we can talk about the blue light frequency. Nowadays it has a bad reputation. After sunset, normally we should not get blue lights because it can send a message to our brain that it's still daytime and decrease the level of the melatonin hormone, and it affects highly our sleep quality. But if you know more about the light biology, you will find out that during daytime blue light is our friend. We need for staying active, for alertness. So there are a few issues with the artificial lights, as I mentioned before. They always emit the same spectrum of light compared to the ever-changing natural sunlight. Other problem is that most of them don't have infrared lights or ultraviolet lights, and even in the visible spectrum they have high peaks in the blue, and the frequencies are not balanced with each other. like in the natural sunlight, the blue is always balanced with the red. Yes, I know that it's very hard to avoid artificial lights in this modern world. I also live here and use technology, but I believe that it's good to know this information and do your best whenever you can. And if you understand deeply this circadian biology and light biology principles, then it makes more sense why watching the sunrise is crucial for the healthy metabolism. So even if you get artificial lights during the day or after sunset, you are a bit more protected if you press the reset button each morning and you run the normal natural program. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the practical application of watching the sunrise is super simple. Just go outside for 10-15 minutes and that's it. However, it's possible to make it wrong, and in this section I will talk about this to maximize your benefits of watching sunrise. First of all, our most important light sensing organ is our eyes. So make sure you go outside and your eyes are free, without glasses, without sunglasses, without contact lenses, because all of them block certain wavelengths from the natural sunlight, and you don't get the full spectrum to your brain. The second most important light sensor in the human body is our skin. So whenever it's possible, when you watch sunrise or go sunbathing, go outside with a free skin surface as much as possible. Next is a pro tip. Watching sunrise is the most efficient if you are grounded. You can explain how it works with deep quantum physics, but you can make your own research if you like. Grounding means that your bare skin is in contact with the natural electromagnetically conductive surfaces. Plain simple, like walking in the grass, especially in the wet grass, or walking barefoot on the river side next to a lake, or swimming in the lake and ocean. These are the best grounding surfaces, and this way you can absorb more light from the sunrise as well. It's very interesting that probably the ancient Egyptians knew something about the light biology. You can look at the Sphinx, whose all four extremities are grounded and is facing towards east, to the direction of the sunrise. Common question about watching the sunrise, if it's working in a cloudy, rainy day, or if you don't see directly the sun discs. And many people use it as an excuse to not watch sunrise, because if it's cloudy, you don't see anything. I want to say that it still works and still important. Maybe not as strong 100% effect like on a clear sunny day, but it still works. You still get the natural light spectrum, even if it's just reflecting from other surfaces. How much is enough? I think nobody can tell you exactly how much is enough, but in general they recommend staying outside at least 10-15 minutes around sunrise, and on cloudy, rainy days even more is the best. And of course, every second is much better than nothing. So if you can just stay 1 minute looking outside from the window, it's still much better than spending the whole day inside and watching your computer's or phone screen. The other common question is if it's safe to watch directly to the sun disk. My answer is yes and no. It's always individual and depends on the person's ability to absorb the light, and this you can train like a muscle. In general, I can say that the first few seconds up to a few minutes after sunrise or a few minutes before sunset is generally safe to watch directly in the disk. in the middle of the hot summer day. I don't recommend to anybody, even if the most trained eyes can be too strong and damaging certain parts, but close to sunrise and sunset it's safe, and you can improve your ability to stay there longer day by day, increasing 5-10 seconds. For example, I can stay there and watch 5-10 minutes even during sunrise directly to the disc. Alright, so we're getting close to the video of today. I hope now it's more clear why sunrise is important and what is the circadian rhythm, our body's internal clock. People can argue about the best diet or what is the best religion in the world, but I hope nobody argues that the sun is coming up every day and going down every day, and maybe it has some effect on our biology as well. And I always like to say that don't believe me anything. Feel free to make your own research and make your own conclusions about the topic. I've written many blog articles and books about this light biology, and you can find there many links, scientific studies. And if you want to progress faster in your lifestyle change, or you need an individualized training plan, then contact me for online consultation or online coaching. That's it for today. I hope it was inspiring and informative. If you like the video, then hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, and see you in the next one. Wish you a good health and strength. Enjoy your sunbathing and sunrise sessions.